Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining my live this morning. I will not be joining you on the camera to save you some grief. I suffer from chronic allergies. Allegedly, though, LaWanda Westbrook and Crystal Jewell say that I'm a coke addict, which I am not. If you ever hear that rumor, please disregard the irony. Yeah, I'll show you in a community post later. Oh, speaking of LaWanda and Crystal, I actually have a new bingo card for a bingo night or a game night. Let me show it to you. It's actually kind of good. One moment. Let me get that for you. Maybe you guys we can use it and play. Let's see. Yeah, this is what they made me. Isn't that sweet? There's my picture. And it says, Eve, you forgot Sniff's Coke. Wipes nose was close, though. Bingo. I'm not sure who got it first, me or Lana. So they were watching my live and playing bingo. Isn't that nice? And it says, I cry about Equisearch, gets drunk live, Griff sniffs my toddler and toddler even diapers, which I don't know what they're talking about. Mr. Eve plays old recordings, misinformation, LaWanda. It's not fair. Of course, the free space in the middle, y'all. Crystal Jewell. And there you go. Your girl Eve takes a shot. What are you talking about? Anyway, it says, join us live as we dox, lie, and project our issues. Isn't that the sweetest thing? You know, this is the importance of Michael Vaughan's case over there. So that's fun. Let's do it. Oh, by the way,
hire her as a PI or whatever.
Let's go ahead and see what Brandy said about Crystal.
Yeah, Sai has like over 20 fucking emails from her dumbass.
What's she trying to do? Get recruited?
Apparently, I don't know. And I read JD her message to me when she was trying to get me to hire her as a PI or whatever. And I told JD, I was like, I'm not fucking hiring any.
They know who that Crystal Jewell is.
All right. Glad to get that out of the way. Hey, here's Sally, my Jack, Rainy Days, Mr. Eve, Barb Murray. This is such a sad case. You're not lying. Hey, Haley Scott, Linda, Lizzie B, Tiff Turtle, my girls, Darlin Valentine, Julia T. Linda says, I love this channel, Eve. Keep doing what you do. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. Sometimes during these missing children cases, as we all know, it gets dramatic. And that's okay. I can handle it. But these babies who aren't home safe and sound can't. And they need a voice. So sometimes we have to do what we got to do and deal with the bull to do that for them. I'm trying to make sure that, there we go. Chat's working. Thank you. Hey, AG. All right, so let's get into the babysitter timeline, because to this day, there's still this big conspiracy against the babysitter. And we're also going to get into the neighbor, the immediate neighbor, or neighbors rather, and what has been said over time, what we have found regarding the one immediately to their left off of Arizona. And, you know, I really hate that this is what we're coming to. Like, I really do hate this. You know, because I don't ever want to pinpoint people and blast them when we have no concrete official information from law enforcement, you know, speculation, and it could really put that family Monkey's family in a pickle when people are spreading misinformation about a neighbor or about the babysitter. Because there's crazies out there. There really are. Okay. So this information that I am working off of is the latest interview that we did, me and Case in Point True Crime. Remember this? If you didn't, you can go watch it. It was done in September 5th, 2022. And we asked good questions. We clarified when things were misspoken and all that stuff. So I will say there is one, I think, timestamp where Jen Hannah says 6:03, but she meant 7:03. She clarified it. But I'm gonna back up what she said with Brandy's words and messages to a group that she was talking to. Okay, this is important. Level-headed and Michelle Walks and whoever else. They really want this timeline for the babysitter. So maybe this will help. And maybe you can question some things. I really don't care. But if you're going to do it right. Right? All right. So at the beginning of that live, Jen Hannah and husband left the house at 6:58 p.m. in Payette. Let's get the maps up so we don't get confused or, we don't understand what we're looking at. This is important. Hey, Mr. Eve. Google Earth hates me, I swear. But I think it's a large program, so it's going to take just a second. All right. So let's do, Payette. We're just going to do a street that's close by. Let's just say that. Whee, isn't that cool? Barb Murray, did they give up on Monkey? I don't believe so. No, I don't. So here's 4th Street. We're just going to put it, it's close by to where Jen Hannah lived at the time, the babysitter. All right. Then we're going to go to Nampa, which is about 30 to 40 minutes, depending on traffic. All right. That looks about right, don't you think? So the babysitter, when she goes to this tournament, this pool tournament, when her and her husband head out from the home at 6:58, they go near Fruitland. They don't go like in Fruitland where Michael lives, but they go close by and then to Nampa. All right. So 6:58, she arrives at a Shell gas station at 7:03 to get drinks, snacks, and, cigarettes, whatever. They live very close to this gas station. Then the husband and Jen Hannah arrive at the pool tourney / bar in Nampa at 7:40 p.m. Oh, Barb, thank you for the $2 super chat. You're the best. I love that movie. And we'll always love that movie. Then Brandy calls Jen Hannah at 9:24. Now, you're probably thinking, well, how do we know that? Well, we have a photo of not only Jen Hannah's call log, but Brandy's. All right. So let me pull that up for you so there isn't any accusatory things like, what? Prove it. Okay, fine. See the 2 calls? So she missed a call at 9:24. She calls Brandy back. Makes sense. Let's look at, and she even calls Tyler at 10:11 because I believe that they wanted them to, I can't remember exactly what, but I'll check into it. So let's look at Brandy's. Children just don't disappear. You're not lying. That is a fact. I just hate that it's taken this long to narrow a window, if you will. I mean, just, okay. One second, guys. Now Brandy spells it Jen Hanaha. I don't know. That must have been a whoopsie daisy. At 9:32. See, she calls at 9:24. Jen Hannah calls back at 9:32. All right. And some other calls afterwards, you know. Ex-mother-in-law, boss of Randy. Anyway, we'll get into that another day. So she isn't wrong. I would say, right? She didn't manipulate the call off. Eve, do what's right, not what's popular. I know you will. Thank you. So, getting back to the timeline, which does not need dramatic and big speculation because we literally have the proof from Brandy that she was seen on camera. All right, I'll show you. Sorry, one second. Sorry, guys, one second. All right, see this? Confused detectives are the group of people that were talking about Brandy and her inconsistencies. Satan passed her Polly. Law enforcement thinks she's innocent. Brandy has stated multiple times on various different platforms that she has passed her Polly and she was seen on camera. Okay? They think she's innocent, or they think at least that they have confirmation of where she was. I've covered this so many times on my videos. So if you want the actual proof for those lurking in the back, her Brandy, that's what she likes to say, lurkers in the back, go ahead and snip this. Go do your own research. Go to my video called The Babysitter. Let's go ahead and play it. Why not? That's a good video. Makes me laugh, actually. Here we go. Let's do it. Thank you, Barb, for becoming a member. Thank you so much.
Making your way in the world.
Sorry, guys, 1 second.
World today takes everything you've got. Taking a break from all your worries sure would help a lot. Wouldn't you like to get away?
I think the entire list of non-compliant people plus the babysitter and her husband all need to take the new retinol poly that the family just took and passed. It's time to get to the bottom of this. Where's Michael?
And your third fiancé didn't show. Sometimes you wanna go where everybody knows your name, and they're always.
Satan passed her polygraph. Satan, aka the babysitter. That's what she was called by the mother of Michael Vaughan. And law enforcement thinks she's innocent. Okay.
Glad you came. You wanna be where you can see our troubles are all the same. You wanna be where everybody knows your name.
This is Brandy. She was in Nampa on camera at the exact time he went missing that night. She meant that night, but it says to right. And if you don't believe that it's Brandy, let's go back. Boom. What do you need? What else do you need? What else do you need? Quit harassing this poor woman. Brandy also says, I did tell her I would need help getting kids home from school if she was down, but that was going to be it. Yeah, she wasn't happy. Now, this is regarding Jen Hannah being asked to help Monkey, basically, get adjusted to the school that he was going to start for the first time, kindergarten. And that's basically that they were going to stop needing her. And it hurt Jen Hannah. Okay. I know. So Quentin and Michael, that's the funny thing. So I haven't watched Bullhorn Betty's live this morning, but it was the two monkeys, you know, because that's what Quentin Simon was nicknamed. From what I hear, yes, Monkey's nickname was Monkey, but allegedly that nickname wasn't used too much when he was with another family members, let's just say, that he stayed with habitually. Not family members, excuse me, friends of the family. All right. That are very close by. Let's just say that. That wasn't a nickname thrown as much as people think it is. All right. I'm just going to put that out there. From what I know, could be wrong. So she was in Nampa on camera at the exact time he went missing that night. What else do you need? This is from the mother. Now, yes, I know things could change. You know, this was back in at least January or February. Maybe March. I doubt it, but I think it's January. Let me see. Good old LaWanda again. Son of a biscuit.
Where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. Where everybody knows your name.
Her name is Jen Hannah, not Satan. That poor woman. Anyway, yeah, what are the odds that there's two babysitters that are being blamed for everything? Bless their hearts. That's all I'm going to do. That is all I need to show y'all. If we get into the nitty gritty of what she said at the beginning, you're going to be side-eyeing, just like I did. A lot of people did, because guess what? She was told things that she was not aware of the truth of the matter. She was being told by people like Brandy Tyler, Tyler's sister, all of these different things. Now, what's important though that I need to to mention is that there is someone who was close, maybe is still close to Brandy specifically, who is incarcerated at the moment. And I'm not going to go into detail on that, but if anybody is going to be called non-compliant, guys, it's going to be someone who doesn't make very good choices, especially recently, who has charges pending. That's all I'm going to say. Take that for what you want. I don't want to hinder or jeopardize anything to do with that. So I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to say who it is, etc. Now, what I will say about the neighbor or neighbors that we have heard, we have no proof. No law enforcement has confirmed even the babysitter being cleared. So I can't necessarily tell you that that's a 100% fact. But what I am saying is that if the mother can tell you, or tell at least somebody in a group of people that she was chatting with, that, wouldn't you take that for its value? Or if it's a lie, why would she do that? You know what I mean? Either way you look at it, doesn't look good for anyone on the other side of Hannah. Let's just say that. Sky says, what gets me about this case is, why does Brandy change her story of what happened that day? Because she wasn't there. One online interview said Michael was playing on his Nintendo Switch when she left for work. Another interview said he was playing outside. Yeah, it gets muddled, but allegedly it's trauma, right? Y'all heard what Chris Madonna explained to her, right? The babysitter should be irrelevant at this point. Good Lord, there's so many other possibilities. You know, and I don't sit here all day and just look at the parents. What I'm really doing when I'm listening to Brandy and Tyler, or the one moment that Tyler and Bob comes out, and other family members who love to chat it up on Facebook specifically, it's because whatever they say is key to knowing something, or that could potentially help find that lead to find Michael. No matter if people think they're guilty or not, that is irrelevant at this point. That's law enforcement's job. I don't get paid for that. What I do know is that tips help solve cases. Law enforcement actually does not solve cases on their own as much as the public's help in tips. It's very low, actually, without those tips and without outside sources from law enforcement. They just need to confirm what these people are saying. That's their job. Not to shy away from help, which J.D. Huff doesn't want. J.D. Huff wants tips that are credible. And if that hurts people's feelings, that is not on me. My Shedline says, if you don't believe what Brandy says about the babysitter being cleared in her eyes, then how can you believe other things she says? Make it make sense. Yeah, that's true. I mean, at the end of the day, you can't say don't listen to Brandy 50% of the time, but back her 100 on what we think is right. That's not how this works. You either trust somebody's words or you don't. You either try to prove those claims, and if you can't, it's still speculation. Period. Don't steamroll other YouTube creators like myself because you don't like what you're hearing. Okay, getting into, Jen Hannah, or off of Jen Hannah and onto the neighbors that are allegedly non-compliant by LaWanda Westbrook. Let's see. Going to pull up exactly what one of the neighbors who came out as a quote unquote spokesperson at the beginning, very beginning, and then you don't see her until or hear from her until July 22nd, 2022 on the KTVB interview, which Alex Duggan, I believe her name is, from KTVB, tried to block that content on my channel because they didn't like, I guess, what I was saying. Too damn bad. And I mean that. Let's go ahead, actually, and listen to what Brandy said. I think that that's important first. Let's see what Brandy has to say.
Take it. Go. No more. Oh, let me turn my Wi-Fi off since I'm inside.
So the neighbor directly across the street, their immediate neighbor, never saw Michael. They weren't home that day.
Mm-mm.
Which
The older man that was bent over.
So it would be the one to the right, Kenzie. The one directly across from Brandy saw Michael, watching Wheel of Fortune. The one to the right of that is the one that never saw him. They weren't home.
Stop it.
So then the neighbor to the left of them has the camera?
Okay, I'm looking at the neighbor right across the street. The house, the left next to them, and then and then after that, their house is Karen's house, right?
No.
They weren't home. They never saw him. They have video footage of seeing him go down the street off of their house. I didn't know they had a camera.
Hold on a second.
The one, if I'm standing in front of Karen's house, yeah, right, one to the right of Karen's, if you're standing in front of Karen's. Okay, has the camera. Yeah. Okay, fine.
Yeah, 906 has the ring. But so their camera that they said only goes to their driveway actually goes further? Or are you talking about the one next to it at 908? They have a camera that caught Michael.
Let me look outside. You guys confused me.
I'm confused too.
Hey. They weren't home. They did not see Michael. Okay. The video footage on that ring door camera apparently did pick Michael up, but we're not telling anybody that.
And that's
Okay.
6,
I have no idea. Can't see that part.
but it's the next door neighbor.
No. 908. 908. Anyways, they all saw Michael. Don't touch that. Sorry. He did knock on both Hispanic neighbors' doors.
So that's just one of many, 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 many different versions of this. Okay. But I'm not going to continue exposing what was said and what changed and all that stuff. And here's why I'm changing my mind on it. Because I don't want those children at 9/11 to be harassed if something is nefarious or if someone, decides to retaliate. I don't want them to be put in harm's way. Now, I do know that one of the Hispanic neighbors, that story has changed many times. Okay. And I'm going to tell you right now that I do believe that there is someone in that neighborhood or multiples that have probably more information than they're willing to speak on. I don't know if they're non-compliant or not, but the only one that we hear from is the one immediately to their left if you're looking at the house of Michael Vaughan. Doggies, really? Sorry. I don't understand why there's footage of Michael they aren't telling people. That makes no sense. Absolutely. Absolutely. Why wouldn't they tell anybody that? Well, every investigator or detective or whoever runs the show has their own way of investigations. They have their own way of handling a case. But for the life of me, I could not understand why they wouldn't release that information by now. Something doesn't sit right with Brandy and Tyler for me anyways, right? Well, I don't understand. Are they protecting someone? You know what I mean? So here's Brandy stating about that monkey was at the neighbor's house again on Arizona and Southwest 9th, the corner where they said Michael was seen. We hear that it was first he was there, and we also hear that was the last house he was at. So we don't know our elbow from our ass regarding the truth. We don't. Sorry, I had to tell my pups to cool it. All right. So the screenshot. We never heard the husband of the woman who came out publicly and said that, Monkey was at her home that evening. And what I think she meant was that he was seen there by the husband and he had to go to Walmart, which is where, ironically, she works at. So I think that the screenshot that people get up in smoke about is it is, I guess, looked at in a different way that understandably could have been misconstrued. But I do believe that she just meant, yeah, he was at my house because my husband saw him walk around the mailbox to his home. But we don't know that for 100% fact. We're just going by what she said. So here's one of the screenshots from Brandy herself, February 19th. Here's the lady, and I'm so sorry that your name has to be put out here but here it is. This kid is my next door neighbor. He was at my house this evening. This was on July 27th, 2021. I know the tracking dog was in his home. The dog has not been at my home where the child was before we went missing, which was what I'm thinking is she meant he was in the yard trying to knock on their door to play. But allegedly he was already outside going to the store. Okay. Anyway, helicopters have been out. Multiple drones have and are still out. Mom was at work and dad was home with him and baby sister. He is notorious for sneaking away. Very social child. Horrible situation. Any ideas why she contradicts what you said? Maybe because everyone was in full fucking panic mode. Oh, okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Let me pull this other one up. I'm not going to play the recording of Tyler's sister and Brandy talking. Not going to do it. But what I will tell you, if you trust me, that an old man who has a hard time standing up said that they saw him heading back west in a space that Brandy did on Twitter. She doesn't even know the right neighbors and where they live. That recording that I played just a second ago, it was all wrong. It was muddled, okay? She was just like, everybody saw him. Okay. Well, that's not good enough. Not good enough. So I'm not going to do that. But what I will say is if you go look at my video of Jen Smith Newman coming in and out of the garage, I can't play it. I can't replay it on another live because it will trigger that copyright strike. But if you can go and look at that, I'll post it in my community page. You see on July 22nd, 2022, during the interview with Tyler and Brandy, you see Jen Smith Newman, the neighbor, going in and out of the garage. Now, could you please tell me why a neighbor would hang out? You see Bob and her interacting. They are friends, at least at that time. They're neighbors. Michael was at her house the night before on Monday, the 26th. Okay. Why would they just all of a sudden be non-compliant if in fact that's who LaWanda and all of that group is hinting to, not necessarily the woman, but her husband? Why are they alluding to that? If she was in and out of the home, their home, Brandy's home, during an interview, that's what I want to know. Sky Z Eve has many videos in this case that you can watch. All right, awesome. Oh, you're saying Sky Eve has many videos. Sorry, I'm loopy. And it's not from the alleged cocaine that I sniff. It's decongestants, bitches. Brandy said the old man who can't stand up straight saw him heading back west in Spaces. Then a month later in audio with Chrissy, Brandy says the same man never saw him. Right. And there is one neighbor that allegedly Bob talked to, which I believe is the same man, that said this, that, and the other about some Wheel of Fortune bullshit. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we don't have any proof of what the neighbors actually can confirm other than what Jennifer Smith Neiman said. She has not commented or publicly spoke since then. And now the husband is I'm just going to say it. These people, you know who you are targeting him. They're saying that he said it out of his mouth, but won't prove it. And that's very dangerous to me. It's very dangerous to live right next to an alleged non-compliant person who's lawyering up. All speculation, by the way. Why would you want the public to know that? My opinion is to focus on someone else or a group other than that house. That's what I'm saying. Brenda says, I'm new to the case and I need to catch up on it. I have seen a few things, but I don't know all the people involved. I have to watch to catch up. Yes, please watch my Michael Vaughan playlist. All I do and all I am doing is trying to help find that tip that will find Michael or the truth of what happened. Law enforcement can take those things and solve the case if they need to, or if they should, but if they can is what I mean. Because he's still missing. And now there's trust funds being set up so that, quote, Brady should never have to work again. It's smelling a little foul the more and more we go along, guys. And I don't like it. It's not fair to Michael. I'm going to make a video and release it shortly about what I can say about some of the neighbors over time that's public, because it was on a public Twitter space that anybody could have accessed. And that's what I am going to do. and the inconsistencies over time. And it is animated so that you see, you know, the X's on the house that we're speaking on, so that you can get an idea of what, where's my beep beep machine? So you can get an idea of what the she's talking about. Because it's interesting. Let's just say that. Lizzie says they could be harassed and kids bullied. Why would Brandy want that to possibly happen when she said her own teens experience it? Look, and these are from the people who are trying to help, right? Trying to advocate. Well, you got to advocate for the entire family. There are children in that home. If you're watching this, do not ever harm or try to inflict any harm to that family because you think that, you know, maybe there's something nefarious going on. They're children and they don't deserve it. That's pretty damn obvious. But don't sit there and do that. Say those things and put them in potential danger. And Fruitland PD, where are you? Where are you for your community and for those children in that home? Where are you? And where are you for Michael? What is going on? Cold Case Foundation, please. I hope there's miracles. I hope that there are miracles happening. Because this is outrageous. Yes, trust fund, I said it. Isn't pointing fingers and deflecting towards others the way this has gone since day one? Absolutely. And that wasn't my intention. And if I ever came off that way, I didn't mean that. I am only trying to get to the bottom of the inconsistencies and the lies and why they're happening. All right, guys, I'm going to head out. Look out for the video of the neighbors that I can release and what's been said. You're going to want to hear it, though. You're going to start seeing a pattern over time of why it changes. I'll give you a hint. I have a feeling it's law enforcement. Two ways. Either the interrogation process has triggered some kind of thought process to explain how, or get help from the group of women she was talking to on putting the puzzle together, or law enforcement's telling her these things willy-nilly, intentionally, and that's not okay. It's dangerous. It's dangerous for the community. And where is the community? Are y'all scared? If so, tell us. Email, comment. Y'all need a voice. All right, guys, you know, as I say, drink your water. Tell yourself, your babies, your fur babies, your grandbabies, we're going to bring Michael home. Justice will be served. Truth matters, not feelings. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Much love to you. Happy Veterans Day. Mr. Eve, that goes to you. Thank you for serving our country. First calf. We love you. All right, guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Bye.
What?